So we are on schedule to have most of the building complete when school starts on August 16th. So we should have substantial completion will be sometime after Labor Day, but we will have probably, well, we'll just kind of walk through as we go. There will be a few areas that we'll still have some work to do when school starts, and then a lot of cleanup, punch list kinds of things that we'll need to get complete. But we're making good progress. So as long as the rain stops, which maybe that's just a dream right now, but if we can get it to hold off for a while, we'll be good. So this part, this was the old cafeteria and commons area, and this has been renovated. They came in right after school started, took out some walls, and this will become a culinary arts kitchen, and then a classroom associated with that, and just a general classroom space and band instrument storage will go here in this open area. So be some nice upgrades for our fine arts department. This part will be a part that will be done for school starts.
There's absolutely
we have
variation.
About a month and a week left to go. So all of in this part of the building, the lights and the ceilings, the electrical work still needed to be completed, and so they dropped all these ceilings, and they will soon be coming back. And, they've done fire sprinkling piping, or they will be, and things of that nature, and bringing this back in. So good goes to the beginning.
Especially everything I need, Greg.
Try to get you in here without tripping over a tube or something.
There we go.
You can go ahead and walk forward down to the stage. Yeah, this is all of our band storage is in here right now. Before we get into the performing arts season, we will have our seats will get replaced, which we're very excited about, as will be anybody who ever has to sit in these seats. They're vintage 1960 whatever auditorium seats that are tired and worn out.
65.
65?
Yep.
So we're working on that. And then back here, a big thing that, one of the biggest pieces that our auditorium lacked was really any backstage space at all. So we're putting a nice addition back here. The old stage ended right where this drain pipe is. And so the backstage curtain was about right there. Guys, in order to have when they did their productions, they had to set all their stuff outside and go around outside to get from one side of the stage to the other. So taking that wall out and pushing this one back will give them a very nice, real backstage area to be able to move around and have storage, enable places to build sets, and just have an appropriately sized stage. They'll have nice entrances so that we can host larger productions, one-act play districts or something like that. And they can pull their trailers and everything right up into the bay if they need to. to help us get their stuff in there. So this was a big one. We had some structural issues also in this back wall. Over time, there had been some settling here, and there were some pretty good cracks in it. So getting all that shored up and repaired has been a big bonus. This area won't be done when school starts. This will be one area that for sure won't be done until probably at least Labor Day. And the seating in the auditorium, I'm not exactly sure when that'll be, but it will be in place before we get into performance season in October, November, for sure. So.
That wasn't smart. I messed them up. I was like, that's okay. We're just going to open. I told him I messed them up. I should have heard that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it worked out.
All right.
I can't do that now.
So you've all seen the library, right?
Yeah.
That's been in good working order and service. We did have to have some furniture fixes, but other than that, it's been good to go since February or March. These areas all out here really just need finishes put on them: carpet, new doors. The lights and ceilings are all ready, good to go. So we're getting pretty close in these areas. I'll take you back to the commons area. So one of the features that you won't be able to see yet, you can see what it'll kind of look like along here is one of the pieces that we've been missing is lockers for all students. And so along here and then out in there, which you can't see the space yet, but these will be lockers that are half-height lockers that will go all the way along here. And then inside there'll be one for every kid. And then the freshman academy students will have their lockers in their commons, which we'll show you in a little bit. So that'll be a nice upgrade for our kids to be able to not have to carry their backpacks with them around to their cars and get their books in between classes. We'll snake around here so that we're getting ready to start training.
All right. Now for you.
So in the old setup, that area where you walked in was the lobby, and that was all there was, the concessionary and the restrooms. And so by opening all that up, we're going to create a lot more space, make it a lot more user-friendly for our fans, a better experience for our fans when they come to these activities. This area up over here is where our student section will be. There'll be half seating up there. There'll be a video board that will go over the top of that in that area that's kind of between the pillars on that side. Up in the corner over there for media to be able to do their and filming of games and whatnot from up there. Then over on this end, in the end, that wall that you kind of don't see will be off. So we'll have full vision all the way through onto what will be the wrestling or the weight room area, training room area. So still a lot of work to be done, but they've made a lot of progress. So we'll walk over there and then down into the locker rooms so you can kind of see where the progress is as well. So the plan is for them to have the construction that needs to be done inside of the gym itself here in really the next couple of weeks so that we can get to refinishing the floors and getting this cleaned up and ready for student use in the early part of August. The lights, they just replace all the lights in here, heating and air conditioning will come through. the cool features that the architects came up with was this full flooring in the separate gym up here, and they've covered this. They're going to use it to make like trophy cases, display cases that will go out in between the arches, out in the common. So kind of a nice way to tie the old and the new together. This area will be the weight room, and then there'll be a training room and some storage, PE storage, and then athletic storage up above and where the old wrestling room used to be. And we'll head back here to the locker room. You guys think that was right. So they took the old locker room area and gutted it entirely, and then have rebuilt and added a little bit of square footage also onto the roof. And so we'll have four sets of locker rooms here. Two varsity, two PE locker rooms. I'm not sure whether the lights are on, if you can see it here or not really well. I'm not great videotaping here, but this is one of the PE locker rooms. So these are the smaller lockers, large enough for students to store their PE clothes and then change out for PEs and PE weights and things of that nature. And then on the other side are the athletic locker rooms, which are just a little bit larger, and we'll have larger lockers. So in these locker rooms, you can see about where that paint line is over there. That's the additional square footage that was added on to the back of these, just in order to give us just a little bit larger footprint. Be able to make these spaces work better for us and for our kids. These areas will be right up until close to the end of right up when sports starts. Hopefully they'll be done right at the beginning. I think our three small sports practices are about August 12th or something like that, and the 11th, and we're tracking for these to be complete around the 8th. So it'll be tight, but we should have access to them right at the beginning of fall sports. Want to go around to show you this, but the auxiliary gym is just on the other side of this, so the locker rooms have access to both gyms, going both directions. That's all sealed up right now just because they're trying to control the climate in there because they have the flooring in. I don't want it to expand or contract too much. So in here, this is the main common which we saw from the other end. We'll walk back down there when we're done down here, but really they're pretty close to being completed here. They're just finishing, working on the painting, polishing the concrete on the floors, putting the lockers in, finishing sealing the arches, and putting all the rest of the lights in and getting the HVAC up and going. So we're getting to the tail end of this. And this is going to be obviously an area that's going to get used by everybody, our students, our staff, our communities, and we're in here for activities as well. So this will be a great space. And all of this space was outdoors before. So This is all new. New construction. Yeah, so we'll have seating. There'll be a variety of different seating pieces. So booths, tables, high top tables. There'll be some couches. So lots of different pieces that'll come into place. Furniture install scheduled to start around the last week of July. So as soon as they get that floor polished, we'll be getting going. And this will be an area that will be ready when school starts also. I don't know how much it is. We'll try to get it around the
My
back.
favorite part.
Take you into the auxiliary gym, maybe. So this is the auxiliary gym. This will be an area that we'll have, we could potentially have some varsity contests in here, but primarily it'll be junior high, or excuse me, JV freshman contests will go on in here. Use it for practice for PE. It'll have seating for approximately 280, and the ability to add more seating if we decide that's something we want to do down the road. This is going to be a nice addition for us. Give us a lot more flexibility to host tournaments, basketball, volleyball, wrestling types of tournaments. The gym also, the gym floor has gotten about, in the main gym, about 4 foot larger, so we can actually fit 3 wrestling mats on there now. So if we wanted to have district wrestling in there or something like that, we can do that as well. So this just gives us a lot more flexibility. We've definitely been a little bit gym space poor in our district, and so this will be a big upgrade and will affect all of our students, not just high school students, but junior high students as well. This room is close to being complete. They just need to complete the bleachers, do a little bit of floor work, and put some sound panels up, and then that's about it.
Are those bleachers from the main gym, or are they brand new?
Those are new. Yeah. The main entrance is down over there, but it's all sealed off right now. This will be the wrestling room. Right now, obviously it's a great place to store things. So all our lockers and a lot of the HVAC equipment is still sitting in here. But it's pretty well a completed space. We just need to finish with the mats and putting the mats on the walls and the floors. And by and large, it'll be complete. So.
Are they moving all the old state championship, like the individuals, are they gonna hang those up too?
Yeah, so they're having them
Yes.
remade, yes. And then they'll go back up, yep.
Rito wants his name on the wall. Has to stay there.
Again, this space has been done for quite a while. It's just, but it won't get full use until November. So it serves as a good place to keep a few things right now. So that's the entrance to the gym, just on that side of that wall right there. That they have tipped up just to keep a constant humidity level primarily in there.
the first year of high school. Sure, I mean, down here, so like we had freshmen and sophomores, my brothers.
My class, the last class, starts in lockers. We had two lockers and then we had like two cubbies. One locker each.
And then by the time my senior year came,
It's kind of quiet in here right now, so we can talk just a little bit. That will become the main front entrance to the building, so everyone will enter and exit the building through those doors. One of the important pieces to this was making sure that we had a more secure building in the end. So those will be secure doors. Anyone who wants to come into the building will need to come in the front doors, go to the vestibule, and then be taken in through the office to make sure that they should be here and it's an appropriate place for them to be, and then they'll funnel them through and have them come out these doors and then get them to the rest of the building. So security, there are a lot of security features in the building. That's main point of entry is obviously one of the most important pieces, and that's where we're upgrading that. Out in the front, you can't probably see very well, but there's a new drive and drop off. There's visitor parking, handicap accessible parking, all of those pieces out in that front area, which are things that we've just not had in the past. So that'll be a nice additional feature for our guests as well.
Is the parking lot expanding at all?
No, the parking lot itself will stay. Most of the freshmen who are coming aren't drivers yet, so we didn't need to add additional parking for them at this point. We are doing work on the east parking lot, the dirt one where we came in. That one needs to be is going to be paved so that our staff has a little bit better place to park. It's pretty muddy over there when it rains and when it snows, so we'll clean that up for us in terms of drainage. And last place we'll take you is back to the freshman academy.
one day.
One day.
Yes. I need to, because I'm going to the show, I don't want to see this. So. Then come here. Okay, I probably checked this before.
So this is the main classroom wing, and the structure of the main classroom wing isn't changing largely. There's part of it that was renovated into the library, but largely it stays the same. New lights, new ceilings, new doors, new HVAC, all of those pieces are incorporated. Painting, we will carpet the classrooms, but that probably won't be able to happen until next summer just due to some of the timing issues that we have. But where we stand right now was the entrance pretty much to the old library. The guidance counselor's offices were off to the left here. Those have been renovated into new restrooms that are accessible for the classroom wing. And then the old library, and then the addition that was built behind it are the classrooms that will be partially for all students and partially just for freshman students. And so we'll kind of take you back and show you where that space was added and renovated and what that looks like. So this classroom right here will be a video production studio for our web design, video productions class. Some of our IT classes will do work in these classrooms. Our students produce news program, and this is where they will do that. It will also have some acoustical properties that will make it appropriate for students to do like vocal recordings and things of that nature as well. Along here there'll be a couple of computer classrooms that also work as business classrooms. So accounting and DECA, personal finance, all of these kinds of classes will go on in these areas. And right here, we're still in the old library. The old library ended right back here where this threshold is. This will be the freshman science room, physical science and physics. We'll go on in that room. And then everything that's this way from this wall right here is new construction. And this is the true, I guess, what you would call freshman academy wing in the building. So the freshmen will have their own commons area. Their lockers will be situated in this part of the building. And then all of their core classes, English, math, science, social studies, will take place in this part of the building as well. The freshmen then will go out for their exploratory classes, band, choir, PE, industrial technology types of classes, family consumer science, any of those technology related things they will do outside of this area. But this will be a nice space for them to be able to be a part of the building, but still have an opportunity to transition with their group and kind of stay together as well through many of the pieces. So on this end, there were 7 brand new classrooms built and then 3 additional renovated classrooms. They'll be, again, out here, same type of space as what the regular commons is, other than it'll be carpeted, but there'll be soft seating, couches, tables, a lot of different work areas for kids. And then up in the front, the freshmen have a time where they come together every day. They do their Pledge of Allegiance together, they do announcements together, and just do some community building together. And so there's a little platform that's being built up there in the front. Part of that stage, that upper gym flooring that I showed you in the gym will also be used on that. It's kind of an architectural feature that ties that old and new together, which is kind of a cool idea. So all students will still enter into that one main entrance, but then freshmen will filter down into this area as their home base.
So are the other students allowed to come down in here, or is there like...
I'm sure there will be other kids who will come down here. There will end up being occasionally a teacher who might teach a class that has more than just freshmen in it. So some, yes, but most of them will spend their time in the main commons, and most of the freshmen will spend their time here, out of class. And inside of the classrooms, again, lots of natural light. Some of the architectural features that they include are, the ceilings have a slope to them, and that allows for the light that comes in the large windows to reflect and be used better downward in the classroom, which is some energy saving features there, as well as just make a better learning environment for kids. So these rooms are really close actually to having carpet installed, and the very final finishing touch is just the ceiling grid and the floor and the lights is about all that has to be done in these rooms. So we're getting really close down here, and all of these will definitely be done when school begins.
And how many students can be in here at a time?
This edition was built for 170. A typical freshman class for us would be around 150, 140 to 160, so there's a little bit of variation from year to year. But there'll be space for sure for all of our students, plus some room to grow. So these are kind of the main areas that are being renovated. There's a lot of work going on still all over the building, but these are the ones that are new and different, I think, for folks. Our students have and our staff have done a great job working with the facilities, within the facilities that we have. But they were, 50 plus years old, and it was time for them to be renovated and brought up to current code. There's some things that in a 50-year-old building just start to break down and wear out, and so being able to get those things fixed up, heating and air conditioning and all of those things are really kind of foundational, important pieces. But really the biggest game changers for our kids is being able to have facilities that align better with the types of curriculum and offerings that we have right now for our students. Things like a video production studio, and a STEM classroom, and a culinary arts area. All of those pieces really lead towards the kids' desires and goals to be able to develop their career pathways while they're in school, and that's a big part of what we're looking at trying to develop with our new facility, and help our students be ready to take that next step, either to college or into the workforce when they graduate from high school. By the time school begins, I would say we'll be 95% complete, and that's in about a month. About 5 weeks from now is when school begins. So we're getting there. There's a lot of work to be done. But I know it's going to get done. A lot of the work that needs to be completed is really just about putting those finishing touches on, getting the doors replaced, the carpet replaced, the lights in, and getting the heating and air conditioning systems balanced out so that they work well. So we're really getting a long ways towards. So first of all, just having 2 new classes come in at once is going to be an adjustment. But I don't think it'll be huge. Our students are so flexible. Just getting used to coming in the new entrance and a few new procedures. But once they get here, they're going to figure it out pretty quickly. It is different. The complexion is definitely different, but there's a lot of familiarity too. A lot of old and new tied together. And we'll make sure that we have good signage around so that everybody knows where they need to go, where they need to be. When they get it's important for the community to be able to maintain some of those, especially the architectural features of the old building, the dome in the gym, the arches that come off of that. Being able to incorporate those into the interior structure of the building is really one of the neatest features, I think. And it definitely ties that old and new together, and it's going to give us a really unique building. And that's one of the really nice. We have a state-of-the-art building, but there's still a lot of features that make it feel like the old Gering High School, which is really what we were going for when we did that. So that's something we're excited. There certainly will be things that we'll do to make sure that they feel comfortable. We will have orientations and tours for those students to be able to come in that week that school begins, so that they can get a good feel for the lay of the land and make sure that they understand where they're supposed to be, areas they need to stay away from, and just in order to make that transition go smooth for them. And that's really an every year thing for us. We want to make sure that our kids feel comfortable and they know where to go, and if they don't know where to go, who to ask. And that's one of the great things about Gering. It's pretty safe and friendly community, so everyone's usually out and about willing to help out wherever they can.